Sudden cardiac arrest kills more than 250,000 people every year in the U.S. And the only effective treatment is an electric shock to the heart.
That's why so many buildings now have public defibrillators in them. But Fox 9 investigator Jeff Ballion has uncovered a problem, and it's costing some people their lives.
A life or death drama on 169. Two people raced to help a man whose car shot across traffic and slammed into a snowbank.
He was unconscious, no life, limp, no breathing, no pulse.
Julie Todora happens to be driving by in her highway helper truck. A trained first responder, she can tell the man's in cardiac arrest.
At that point, it'll tell you what to do step by step.
Todora's truck has an automated defibrillator, or AED, on board. A shock just might jumpstart his heart.
His whole body buckled and his arms came off the pavement probably to my waist height. So it delivered quite a jolt.
You know, it's unbelievable.
Steve Smith is one of the luckiest,
I was dead for 9 minutes.
most grateful guys
11 days later, I got to walk my daughter down the aisle.
you'll ever meet.
I would have never made it if it wasn't for that device.
Now imagine you're in a position to help someone like Steve. You grab the nearest AED, maybe it's in a mall, a courthouse, or school. You get to that critical moment of pushing the button to deliver a life-saving shock, and then...
Instead of charging and delivering a shock, I got the command, change batteries.
No juice, no jolt.
It's a rather sinking feeling.
Luckily, Coon Rapids fireman Greg Lacheski had a backup device which saved the man's life.
It was like a roller coaster ride.
Recently, there was another case of an AED breakdown in Minnesota.
They must have just felt terrible.
This time, the person didn't make it.
And do we know why?
We're assuming that it was due to a battery malfunction or not being charged.
How frequently does this happen?
The chances that I had for saving this guy were fading away with every single minute that defibrillator did not work.
Arizona Dr. Larry DeLuca was on vacation when he came to the aid of a man whose heart suddenly stopped. He grabbed the nearest AED. Nothing. The man later died. After that awful experience, DeLuca did some investigating. He found nationwide nearly 1,200 deaths in a 15-year span connected to AED malfunctions.
What we found in the data was that there were pretty much every defibrillator manufacturer was represented in terms of these unexpected shutdowns.
Many of the problems had to do with their batteries. The typical shelf life is 4 years.
Both the batteries and the pads have expiration dates. In some cases, they are different dates.
People forget about that. They buy an AED, put it in their home, a church, or some other place, and lose track of time.
Without somebody checking it frequently or having some type of a reminder to check it, they get ignored.
Many models have an indicator to let you know if it's in working order. Here at Fox 9, there's an AED near the lobby. I've never paid any attention to it before. Is that red light supposed to be flashing?
This is the owner's manual for that model. If the indicator flashes green, the AED and battery pack are functioning properly. If the indicator flashes red, there is a problem.
The station had it fixed right away. How many other units out there have a potential problem that's going unnoticed?
I would say probably 90% of the time people have no idea about the AED in their building.
If every AED was registered in a state and national database, experts say it'd go a long way toward preventing failures that have cost people their lives.
So if you register your AED in a registry, you're getting reminder emails to check it, reminder emails to update it, even quarterly reminders, just has anybody walked by and looked at it.
Tell me exactly what happened.
When this girl collapsed outside her classroom in Texas, the staff knew exactly where to find the school's AED. That shock got her heart working again before she suffered any brain damage.
Right. Is there an AED available?
But sometimes 911 callers have no clue if there's a defibrillator nearby.
We could be doing CPR just around the corner, and on the other side of the wall there sits an AED.
That's another reason why a registry is considered so vital.
So simple to use it.
Steve Smith is alive today because there was a fully functional AED close by when his heart needed it.
I could not imagine explaining to somebody's wife, hey, your husband died because we don't have a defibrillator or the batteries are dead. Could you imagine making that statement?
The good news is there's something you can do to make a difference. If you see an AED at work or out in public, ask if it's been registered. I'm Fox 9 investigator Jeff Ballion.
Also on our website, we have a link to a video that demonstrates how a bystander can use an AED. It's really a lot easier than you might think. Check it out. You never know when you might have to save a life.